Every story has its collector. The tales of horror, of suffering, of despair. Each one calls to me. And so, I add another to my collection. Welcome, dear listener, to the Vale of Nightmares. In this entry, we venture into the heart of a world reclaimed by nature, where a man named Brian struggles to survive. As a Wasteland Porter, he searches for supplies to keep his people alive, navigating a land now ruled by the Green Plague. In this world, the line between man and monster is blurry, and Brian's survival depends on more than just luck. With the help of an unlikely companion, a young survivor and a loyal dog, his journey is about to get far more complicated. Take a step into the wasteland and see if Brian has what it takes to survive the breath of the earth. Chapter 3: Through the Green Mist.
My heart hammered in my fucking chest as the green dust swirled around me. The air tasted foul, thick with the unmistakable stench of decay. My hands moved quickly, fumbling with the straps of this shoddy rebreather, pulling the mask over my face just in time. The sharp hiss of air filling the filter was a small comfort, but it wasn't enough to calm my racing pulse. I need to move. The green had spat that thick, toxic pollen directly at me, and the world around me seemed to freeze for a moment. My vision blurred. My senses were overwhelmed by the smell and the pressure in the air. The dust clung to the edges of my rebreather, swirling around the mask like a predator circling its prey. A low hiss came from the creature in front of me, not just but 6 feet from me. The green wasn't moving, but I could see the way its body shuddered, like it was preparing to lunge. I tried to calm my mind, but I knew better than to engage close. Every tale I picked up about these creatures ended with someone caught in the explosion of green dust. The virus, upon death, finding a new host. These bastards have one hell of a defensive mechanism, but then the fucking creature's eyes, those vacant, rotting eyes, locked right onto me. And I knew I couldn't just walk away. I have no choice. If I turn my back now, it would just rip and tear right through me. The green took a step forward. The floor groaned beneath it as its feet dragged, sending a soft, haunting rasp through the air. I backed away, my hand hovering over my gun. It was a stupid, small-caliber weapon, but it would have to do. The greens weren't like regular zombies. These creatures were intelligent, if only for survival. They didn't just shamble, they hunted. The green took another step, closer now. Its face twisted in a sick, grotesque expression. The mouth opened, revealing rows of jagged, yellow teeth that had gnawed at the flesh of others before him. I gritted my teeth. This is it. With a deep breath, I pulled the trigger. The gunshot echoed loudly in the silence of the decaying city. The green let out a guttural hiss, stumbling backward as the bullet grazed its shoulder. It wasn't a fatal blow, but it was enough to cause the creature to recoil. I could feel as my heart raced, then the green lurched forward again, faster than I expected. Too close, too damn close. My instincts kicked in, and I quickly rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the creature's gnashing teeth. The green dust hovered in the air, thick and suffocating. My fucking eyes burned from the sweat dripping down from my forehead, this mask barely keeping the infection out, and my mind screamed to run, but the green wasn't done. It growled a deep, throaty sound and charged. I just scrambled to my feet, pain shooting up my side from an earlier injury I hadn't had the chance to tend to. This gun was damn near useless now. I needed distance. My fingers grazed the handle of a discarded machete on the ground. It wasn't much, but it was something. As the green reached me, I swung the machete with all the strength I could pull, catching the creature's outstretched arm. The blade cut deep, but it wasn't enough. The green swung its other arm at me, catching right across the chest. I slammed into the ground, the air knocked out of me. My vision blurred, and for a moment, everything went dark. But I couldn't afford to faint. Not here. Not now. With a primal yell, I surged upward, using the momentum to bring the machete down in a powerful arc. The blade connected with the green's neck, and the creature let out a horrific scream. The world seemed to slow down as the green's body collapsed. But it wasn't over yet. The virus had begun its deadly work. My eyes widened as I watched the green's body twist, writhing on the ground. I don't have much time. I need to move now. With a final look at the creature's twitching form, I just turned and ran, the wind at my back, the green dust lingering in the air like a specter. I couldn't hear the explosion, but I knew it was coming. The ground shook, and I barely had time to look back as the green's body erupted into a violent burst of green pollen. The air was thick, and my rebreather struggled to keep the dust out. I pushed forward, knowing I couldn't look back again. If I did, the explosion would be the least of my worries.
Chapter 4. The Unexpected.
I stumbled through the wreckage of what was once a suburban neighborhood. The homes were little more than husks, their foundations cracked and overgrown with vines that crawled up the walls. The earth was slowly reclaiming its territory, its green tendrils crawling over windows and doors, as though nature itself were saying, "You don't belong here anymore." I needed to pause, wiping the sweat from my brow. It was getting hard to tell if it was just the oppressive heat or the stress of the last few days. My rebreather felt like it was suffocating me. I really need to find a new mask. Sadly, I had to keep it on. Right now, this is the only barrier against the damn green plague. The silence was unnerving. I am used to the echoes of the wasteland, faint noises, distant winds, but today, there was a stillness to the air that unsettled my core. I need to move cautiously, while scanning my surroundings for any signs of life, or more accurately, for signs of survival. It was then that something caught my ear. It was a soft whimper. At first, I thought it was the wind, but then it came again. A low, pitiful sound. My heart quickened, and I moved closer, my hand instinctively reaching for this bloodied machete. I crept around the corner of an old, crumbling building, and there, lying half-hidden beneath a collapsed piece of debris, was a figure. At first, it looked like a child, barely breathing, a young girl with dirty clothes and matted hair. Her chest rose and fell with shallow breaths, and she clutched something tightly in her arms. But what caught my attention was the dog. Its fur was ragged, but its eyes were wide and alert. The animal growled softly, protectively, but didn't move to attack. I just froze, my gaze meeting the dog's intelligent eyes. A dog. It had been so long since I'd seen one. Most of the animals had either fallen victim to the same fate as humanity, or been scavenged for food. But this one was alive. I knelt down, slowly approaching the girl and the dog, careful not to startle them. The dog didn't move, just watched him, its growl slowly fading. I noticed the small bundle in the girl's arms. It was a stuffed toy, its faded fabric torn from years of wear. "Hey," I whispered gently, my voice hoarse from days of silence. "Are you all right?" The girl didn't respond, but her eyes flickered open just a crack. She was alive, but barely. The dog let out a soft bark, and I understood. I needed to get her out of here fast. The Greens could be anywhere, and with a wounded girl now in tow, they wouldn't stand a chance. "All right," I said, looking at the dog. "Looks like you're my new partner." With the dog at my side, I began carefully lifting the girl into my arms. The dog trotted beside me, keeping a vigilant watch. He seemed to know the danger that lurked around every corner.
Chapter 5. A New Pack.
My mind raced as I tried to stealth my way through these ruined streets. The girl's weight was a new heavy burden. I couldn't afford to slow down. but I knew we needed to find shelter soon. The sun was setting, and the darkness of the wasteland only made everything feel more oppressive. The dog stayed close, its eyes scanning their surroundings. I felt an unexpected sense of comfort. It had been a long time since I had anything to protect, but now I just found two. A growl from the dog caught my attention. It was subtle, but I knew what it meant. I turned. My heart went right into my throat, and then I saw them, a horde of greens. They were a distance away, but their glowing eyes and rotting bodies were unmistakable. God damn it, I cursed under my breath. There's no way I can afford to fight them, not with this girl in my arms, and even if the dog engaged with me, we still would fail to protect the child. We're not ready for this, I muttered, backing slowly into the nearest building. I pushed open a half-collapsed door, careful not to make too much noise. The dog followed us inside, the girl still limp in my arms. The door creaked shut behind me as I shut it, and all I could do was just lean against it and pray. My breathing was heavy. This green plague is relentless. But now, with the girl and the dog, I had something to fight for. Something more than just the next settlement and their scraps. Then, I heard the horde outside.
And so, the second arc of Wasteland Tale comes to a close. A journey through a broken world, where survival is a battle against the green plague and the monsters it creates. Brian has found a new companion, and with a dog by his side, the road ahead seems a little less lonely. But in this wasteland, danger is never far behind. Until next we meet in this little digital haunt, remember, sometimes the path to survival leads us to new bonds. But in a world like this, those bonds can quickly be tested. Another story to add to the collection. Another soul, another fate. And yet, there are countless more waiting in the shadows. Good night and sweet screams.
Fire burned out, dust settled in, rustling dead leaves. I saw the road where the boots turned back, ash in the air, sky fading to black. No voices now, just the rust and the dirt, and echoes that carry more silence than hurt. There's a chair on the porch and a door hanging wide, a jacket still hanging like someone survived. But the dust on the steps, it don't lie like hope. It tells you they ran or they hung from a rope. Ash on the wind, names in the smoke, hearts turn to stone with each word we don't spoke. The world didn't burn, it just stopped being kind, and left me with ghosts I pretend